Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Shaneria and this is Talk and Crime. If you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join the family. But if you are returning, hello, how are you? And if you're already subscribed, thank you. Let's get started on today's reaction video.
I really want to tell you how I found out that first baby daddy had a girlfriend while I was pregnant. I'm gonna take it back to 2011. I just turned 21 years old. I was 4 months pregnant with my firstborn. I am gonna take in some accountability. I got pregnant with this guy that I was messing around with. It was my first pregnancy ever. I planned on taking care of it, but the world works in mysterious ways. Anne's father didn't pick up the phone for like 3 days, and I told myself on the third day, if he doesn't pick up the phone, then I'm just gonna keep the baby. I was afraid. I was just so afraid, and I just didn't know what to do, and I was like that decision for me was final. I was like, if the third day he doesn't answer and we don't go to the clinic or whatever the fuck, I'm keeping the baby with or without his help. Again, I do have to take in accountability because we were nowhere near a relationship. I wasn't planning on being in a relationship with this man. It was just something that happened, and I don't know, something deep inside me said, you know what, taking care of it wasn't going to do me any good mentally. Now, once I made the decision of keeping Gian, I basically told my mom that I was pregnant with this guy. My mom, being the Virgo that my mom is, she did a little deep sea diving and found out that this guy had a girlfriend, a daughter, and the whole enchilada. So when I go back to Gian's father and tell him, hey, you know, my mom called me from Dominican Republic. She told me you have a daughter and a girlfriend or a wife or whatever the case is. He told me in Spanish, he was like, you gotta believe people from PR, you know, la gente, tú te crees, la gente se puede hablar demasiado, decir cuánto, and me living in DR for 5 years really gave me that mentality. Like, you know what, people do talk a lot. Lied to me. He told me he was a resident. He told me he didn't have any kids. He told me he'd have a girlfriend. And, you know, I decided to believe him instead of believing my mom. That was my first mistake. 2 months passed by. At this time, already 4 months pregnant. It was just my 21st birthday. It was one of my guy's friend's birthday from my block. And we decided to go out in Dykeman. We was in Dykeman that day. I remember that day perfectly. Like, I remember that day like it was yesterday. Back in the days, there was this club called Ayers that was later I forgot the name of it. But back in 2011, the spot was called Ayers. It was my boy David's birthday. He had just turned 21 too. So, and then my stomach was like so little. Like, I'm gonna pull up some pictures of that day. My stomach was so little, and they was like, come, you don't gotta drink, just pull up. And that's exactly what I did. I just came, pulled up, had a good time, went home. My homegirl Naomi was there with me that day. She decided to sleep over. My brother was on his summer vacation at college, so he was home too. I'm like at 4 something in the morning, and like around 5 in the morning, I get this phone call from this random number talking about, do you know such and such? And at first I'm like, no, because, you know, he was in the streets, so I'm over here thinking like, what if it's the cops, what if it's this, what if it's that? I didn't want to like give out too much information. It was a woman on the phone, and she's like, oh, well, this is his wife's friend. We saw your number on his phone, blah, 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 blah. Like, oh, this is his wife's friend? Yeah, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to her. I have something to tell her. She was like, oh, no, it's me. You can talk to me. And I was like, oh, this is his wife, whatever. As a woman, I felt like it was my due diligence to be honest with her and tell her the truth of exactly what was going on, because clearly he was playing everybody. But in my head, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just tell her the truth. And I just kind of told her, like, you know, I'm 4 months pregnant. Once I told her I was 4 months pregnant, all you hear is like, boo, 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 boo. She starts hitting this motherfucker, and then all you hear in the background is him telling her the same thing he told me when I questioned him about like the wife and the baby. Te va a creer esa? You gonna believe that? And I was just like, oh, hell fucking no. Like, this, like, imagine being pregnant and then, like, finding out that not only is this guy, like, lying to you, he has, like, a whole nother woman, he has a whole daughter that he literally denied. Like, how do you deny your own child? Like, that was insane to me. And then to put the cherry on top, he had another girl pregnant at the same time. Like, she was like, I think she gave birth that September, and I was 4 months pregnant. And I was like 5 months pregnant around September. So like it was crazy. It was crazy. Anyway, I started talking to her, and you know, like by the end of the conversation, we were supposed to meet up in Dykeman. I want my last $10. Like, but I decided to risk it all and try to confront this man in person, because ain't no fucking way you about to be lying to her and to me like if I'm not pregnant. Like, I got the proof. He had went to like one appointment with me just to make sure that I was really pregnant, and I thought like him coming to that appointment was like him accepting that, you know, I was gonna go through with this and that I was gonna have the baby. And you know, I'm thinking like, okay, he's trying, he wants to be a part of the baby's life. That was all bullshit. And mind you, like, I didn't want to like be with this man either, but I also didn't want to not try at least. You know what I mean? Long story short, I told Shorty I only got $10 for the cab. She told me to meet up in a place, and I go, and then she stops answering the phone. She dated me. She ended up moving to the Dominican Republic when he got deported. My homegirl Naomi had came with me because she was like, yeah, Julie, I'm not letting you go behind you go by yourself. Like, you are not gonna meet up with this bitch by yourself. She probably will fuck your ass up or some shit like that. And she deaded me. She never answered the phone. Luckily, that cab driver drove.
They always say a mother knows best. She should have listened to her mother, but at the end of the day, she was already pregnant. It's crazy how he had her and another girl pregnant, all while having a wife and a child already. Like, that is crazy as hell. And then like, she was brave to go and meet the wife. Like, you never know if she believed that you wasn't pregnant based on what he told her, even though he had another baby on the way and lying to you. Like, you never know what she was going to do. She probably was going to try to harm you, like your friend said. And I'm glad that your friend was like, oh no ma'am, you're not going by yourself, we doing this together. So let's hear part 2.
Luckily, the cab driver was nice enough to drive me back from the Heights to Dykeman, back to the Heights. That was crazy. Like, I never spoke to her ever again. It's been 11 years. I still haven't had a conversation with this woman till this day. Luckily,
11 years is weird. Like, you, his wife, you don't want to know, like, you don't want to know anything? Oh, that's crazy.
Jan's older sister has spoken to her, and the second baby mom, she's super cool. We've had conversations, we've had the kids meet up, especially when we were living in New York. Like, I would pull up to Yonkers, and she'll pull up to the Bronx when I was living in the Bronx, or whatever the case was, and they're still in communication, and we follow each other on Instagram, and you know, it's all good. But the first baby mom, she don't want nothing to do with me. I wish, you know, I pray that, you know, we can be cordial. I don't think she lives in the city anymore either, but I do know that my daughter and her daughter are in communication with each other, which is all that really matters to me. I just don't want my daughter to go through what I went through, because my mom had this had such a bad image of my dad that it literally traumatized me into wanting to meet my biological father. Not to say this, Jan has my biological father. He got deported a couple months after all of this happened. I can do a whole other separate story time on that because that one was crazy.
Getting deported is wild, especially if you told her you was a resident. So basically you fed her lies from the beginning. His whole intention was not to be with you. It was just to mess with you, just like the second girl that came forward and said that she was pregnant by him also. Like, he was just telling y'all anything. And little did y'all know that he got deported because he was lying about that too.
Basically, whenever we're in Dominican Republic, I let him know that we're there and I let them see each other. Now, does he do his part as dad? Not really, but I'm grateful to have a partner that has stepped up to the plate, has been everything I can ask for more. He's literally raised Gian since she was 1, and we are still together till this day. Como se dice el dicho, papá no quien engendra, papá que cría. And I stand on that because I was raised by a stepfather. My stepfather till this day, like, he's the one that raised me. That's the story time. I didn't even get out already. To my single moms out there, don't be so hard on yourself because you've made mistakes. We've all made mistakes before. It's all about how you hold yourself accountable, and you try your best not to continuously make those same mistakes, because we're human, we're gonna make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. God is only perfect, okay? Something that I will never do that my mom used to do is talk down on my child's father. Like, you don't hear me talking about Gia's dad. Like, you're not gonna hear me say like mal things of him. Like, did he do fucked up shit? Yes, he did. But is he a bad person? I'll let Gian make that decision as she gets older and she sees who's who. She's old enough to know what's what, right? I used to hear about stories like this, that he had me and another girlfriend at the same time, but I never thought I would have been one of those girls that went through something like that. Yeah. Just goes to show, trust your mom. Mama always knows best, because she fucking told me. My mama told me, Juliana, ese hombre tiene una esposa, ese hombre tiene una hija, y él no tiene ciudadanía, no tiene residencia, ese hombre no tiene nada, está ahí con una visa. And I did not want to believe her. That's crazy.
We all live and we learn. And you can tell that she's genuinely like mature. Like, you, even in her younger ages, she was mature enough to be like, you know what, I got this. I don't have time for all that mess. You know what I'm saying? Like, just did her part as being a mother, even though like her journey was not good. And at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, it's based on how you're being a parent, not the other party. Unfortunately, she had to experience this experience, and unfortunately the wife and the other baby mother had to experience a whole liar. He was lying to them all, but the wife decided to stick by her man. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, like, we all live and we learn. We all grow up and mature and do things different because we don't want the same cycle for our children. We want our children to see the better version, the better part of us. And a lot of us mature out of being immature. A lot of us is genuinely mature. All we want is the best. A lot of us are like that. And unfortunately, people can't see that. So hopefully she genuinely cared about, the wife feelings. She genuinely did, but she thought that that lady had to know. And that's why she told her, like, why not tell her? Our children will be siblings. So at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, I'm glad that it didn't go left when she went to meet the wife or whatever. I'm glad the wife did not show up because it could have went extremely left. And I'm glad that she was able to open her eyes, even though her mother was already trying to like wipe them open, like open them damn eyes, girl. But I'm glad that she matured. And unfortunately, parents have to let their children grow into the beautiful flowers on their own. Like, you have to teach your children, tell your children, but at the end of the day, it's still their decision when they become grown. So I'm glad that the mother still supported her, even though she didn't believe her mother. And thank God that this story, you know what I'm saying, ended good, far as her having another child and now is with the stepdad of her first child, and he had no issues or problem with taking care of her daughter. And I'm just happy she wound up in a better situation. So you guys, drop in the comments what you think about this story. Don't forget to like and comment and join the family over here by hitting that subscribe button. We would love to have you. Have a blessed day. Peace.